Righto. Good morning. Friday, the 3rd of July. 3rd? It's the 3rd of July, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, we're going to be talking this morning about Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's adjutant, the groomer, the woman groomer. And we might start seeing some reasons why Buckingham Palace is boarded over. All the windows of Buckingham Palace is boarded over. The Queen's Guards have gone. I think it's the Gurkhas and some other bits and bobs there that are presiding over Buckingham Palace, should I say? Quite namely that. Now, listen, there was lots of stories years ago that a kid or a man was seen climbing down the curtains of Buckingham Palace. Was seen, I think, up round near Hyde Park Corner. You've got to wonder what's going on. We're just going to wait for a lovely few of you lot to pop on this morning. Good morning. It's lovely to see you. Shirley Farrell. Hello, darling. Jacqueline Jones. Oh, sweetheart. What a lovely surprise it is. I love you lot. Karen Campbell. How you doing, darling? Lovely to see you. Trevor, I saw that. Yeah, it is. Look, Ghislaine Maxwell's been... I don't know if I'm saying her name. Look at me. I still got me one arm bandits. I don't know if I'm saying her name properly. But she's been arrested. We're going to get into the nuts and bolts of that in a second via a YouTube link with the judge and the federal courts talking about. Now, she's apparently doing a bit of a plea bargain because that's what it's all about now with these courts. It's about pleading. All right, you have to plead. Please, sir, can I have some more? No, fuck off and get into prison. So, excuse me, French, there's going to be a few expletives. If swearing offends you more than sexualising children, then you've got a problem, not me. Georgie Jensen, hello, gorgeous, lovely to see you. Georgie, I hope you're all right, son. I hope you're all right, yeah? Thinking about you, love you. I hope you're doing all right. Davey Wilson, hello, gorgeous, lovely to see you. Stevie J. Sleep, say, Steve, mate, it's morning here. It's because you're in Australia. I know, bruv. I know before you start. He's going to go, oh, hang on a minute. It's morning there. Yeah, it's morning here in Blighty. Good old Blighty. Look, we don't have a government, ladies and gentlemen. We have a cult, right? We have a cult. Do wear your masks, blah, blah, blah. That's all it is now. Put your seatbelt on. Daddy Boris is going to smack your bum otherwise, and he's going to get his men to beat the shit out of you. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. We've got a cult. We don't have a government. Soon you're all going to start to realise that. I've lost my train of thought. I can't even remember what I was talking about. So, yeah, excuse you. Don't worry about it. This is offensive. This is really offensive. But look, we're at where we're at. So, there is massive rumours that during this plea bargaining that Ghislaine Maxwell has been doing, she's dropped the HRH bomb, and she's dropped Prince Andrew right in the pickle barrel. Now, Harry did a runner a while back with Meghan, and he was seen walking up a parade with his missus, Meghan, and the bottom of her dress was a label like Zara or CNA. I don't know if CNA is still open. You know what CNA stood for, didn't you, as well? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm totally banned from Facebook. You must be doing something. You must be doing something right then, fella. If you've been banned from Facebook, you must listen. Round of applause to that man over there getting a ban from Facebook. I've got 19 days left of a 90-day ban of Facebook, and I bet you as soon as I go live again, which I'm not going. Facebook's done, man. Facebook's done. It's a modern day book burning exercise. They suppress the truth. The media suppress the truth. You've got fact checkers, fat bots. I don't know what a fat bot is, fact checking bot, whatever it is on there. I don't know. My mind boggles. But I'm done with Facebook. Facebook can kiss my furry little gonads. But yeah, I've got the 19 days left of a 90-day ban. But you'll bet your bottom dollar as soon as I go live again, it'll be, we're giving you another 90-day ban because our fact checkers don't like what you talk about. Well, I couldn't care less what Facebook think about my opinions. I'm entitled to my opinions, and I always said I would always find a platform and a way of delivering you the stuff that you need to hear, right? So Andrew is in a right old. I love it. Karen, I love your profile picture. It's so cute. It's so, look at that face. It's just so, it's like a little orangutan going, ooh. Oh, they've been kicked out of town. The orangutans can't even have an home no more. They pulled that. There was one orangutan on a branch the other year, and this bulldozer's pulling the tree down. And this orangutan's going, what's going on, man? You're chicken. Dave, I think Jamie's banned from fascist books as well. We have ways of making you talk. If you don't like what we say, we're going to shoot you. I swear to God, they would shoot us. I tell you, these local courts and that now, you can see the hate in their faces for the British English people. They hate us. You go to court, you see these judges and that all scorning at you like this. Not, hello, mate, how are you? How can I help you day to day? Has something gone wrong? That's what you should have in this country. People that actually want to help improve your life and build your life. But, oh, no, these courts and government, oh, no, this is very serious business. What are you chatting about? I've only done 36 and a 30. Fucking hell, it's not rocket science. It's not crime of the century, love, is it? Who do you think you are, Jack Cousteau? But we have a system now where hate is the compass. Hate and depression and oppression is a compass. So they're doing away with cash as well. Cash is going, people. Cash is going. They're doing away with your cash. Within a couple of years, you're going to be cashless. So you won't be able to go down to your local supermarkets. And they go, oh, well, we've got to handle that stuff, right? We've got to handle these notes. We've got to handle this stuff with the Queen's head on it. Lord knows where the Queen is, to be fair. But it just falls apart. That argument falls apart on every level. So cash is king, right? I've always said cash is king. What do you make about deal with last night's Jisara and Nasara? Jisara and Nasara, I've still got it up on my screen. I will let you guys have a look at that now. You should see Nasara. We're going to chat about that as well this morning. Jisara and Nasara might actually happen. And we'll go through it this morning. I don't know if I've turned mine. Yes, I have. We're good to go for sound. We're good for go for sound. We've got it all plugged in. Right, ladies and jelly spoons. National Economic Security and Recovery Act, NESARA, was a set of proposed economic reforms of the United States. Now, we've got to understand the United States run the Bank of England, all right, because that's what the United States does. Their Federal Reserve sets the tone for the currency, right, in England. Trust me, I guarantee you, they're the ones that say, yeah, press print. Now, look, our monetary system is built on trust. The banks and that, they've all foreclosed and they reckon that they own everything here. They own our bodies, our homes, our cars, the lot. But they just extend credit. They have nothing of substance. The banks have nothing of substance apart from an ability, this cult government, which goes, press print, we'll give the peasants some more. Now, that's what happens, right? So this NESARA, and that is why that we're not allowed to own anything no more. You can't own your cars. You can't own your kids. You can't own your houses. Now, that right was bestowed on you from God, right? Regardless of what you want to say about it, that's the fact. You can't question that because man was created by God. Now, they tried to control the snows. Now, we are the thing that backs up the currency. The men and women of this country, it's a very simple exercise. And I'm going to show you just now that this number on your banknote, and I'm sorry to have to reveal lots of truths to you, but this number here on this £20 of what? I don't know what it is. This number here, right, is called a QSIP number. And that QSIP number is the same as someone's birth certificate, all right? So your birth certificate is a bond, and that means that we've been enslaved into this monetary system. And there's no denying that. There's too many facts and evidence to support that. So what it is, we need to get back to something where we're not held to ransom and our families and our property are not held to ransom, because man was always private. We never had this Gestapo-like force nicking all of our stuff. So this was suggested in the early 1990s by Harvey Francis Bernard. Bernard claims that proposed, which include replacing the income tax and national sales tax, abolishing compound interest on secure loans. Look, the banking sector is just an illusion. They create it from nothing, okay? So we should not be paying compound interest on anything because you don't have secured loans. The truth is they just extend you your own credit from your birth certificate. I know that's quite hard for a lot of you to get around, your little Swedes and your nuts, but that's the truth. And returning to a bimetallic currency. So that's saying back on gold and silver, which is probably could come. and it would say that it would result in a zero inflation, which is zero inflation is actually very, very good for us. It's very good for a people, okay, and a more stable economy. The proposals were never introduced before Congress. So there is big chats about that Nasara Jasara will happen, and I'm giving you the Wikipedia, and you can go and do this for yourself. You can check this out for yourself. Who claim, so it says here, an act of Congress is a statute enacted by the United States Congress. It can even be a public law related to general public. Now, look, or private law, see, private. We should be private, men and women. We shouldn't be in the public. I've never met a member of the public. I've never been on a public transport. I've been on a train or a bus, but this public thing, for me, the word public should go because it's just an illusion. We had a chat with a member of public today. Well, no, you didn't. You had a chat with a man or woman. These facts will become self-evident as the world starts to wake up to these truths. So let's go back to where we were. Oh, look at me here, showboating with my kid Creole and the coconuts. I don't muck about, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you. So we're on cashless now. That's live now. Let me have a look at my library. And cashless, Pride Array, Mandatory, Phoenix. Look at the stuff I watch, man. I'm telling you, I don't muck about here. We're going to get into some nuts and bolts of some stuff. Let me just scroll down. I want to play you a video of what I found yesterday. You might find quite interesting. Actually, whilst you were preoccupied, right, watch this, because this is Ike. I've spoke to David Icke a few times. I did get invited years ago down to be part of the People's Voice, which was a people-led TV thing that he started, but unfortunately it packed up. We had Mark Windows of the World, Richie Allen, Sonia Poulton. Sonia Poulton, by the way, is fantastic. She really, really is. You know, David Icke is, look, whilst we've all been subjected to the COVID juice and everyone is dying of the COVID juice, and there's no more people dying per year, per capita, than the common flu. And I hope next year, ladies and gentlemen, that when the flu season comes, if it ever comes, that you all get into this hysteria because the flu and the pneumonia's here. I really fucking do. I hope you all go, oh, the pneumonia's out there. Oh, my God, I can't cope. And just before we do jump into this, I want to put a caveat out there that Giselle Maxwell never committed suicide. She died of COVID 1984. That's all I'm saying. So let's get into some nuts and bolts with Ike this morning. And this is true, right? Whilst we were all preoccupied.
When we see Pleiadian ships, we see the sphere of light.
Just bear with me. We'll get rid of this ad. The Pleiadians, eh?
The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation. Viewers are invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
Everyone watching now, please share this link via the sidebar to any and all of your social media channels. This is important. Simply ask your friends and family to give us 15 minutes. That's all we ask.
That is the foundation of human control. This cult is constantly dictating when it goes up and when it goes down. But no one ever talks about it. Why? This is fundamental, and I never hear any political party talk about this. I don't hear the wokers talk about it. I don't hear any of them talk about it. This cult has achieved economic dominance on an ever more extreme scale, thus dominance of the choices of freedom of the population, by creating a situation in which they can lend money that doesn't exist, called credit, to the population, and then charge interest on it, and taking as collateral wealth that does exist, land, resources, homes, businesses. And if the population doesn't pay back the credit money that is a figment of the imagination, created out of nothing basically, then the people issuing the credit i.e. the banking system owned by the cult, gets your wealth that does exist. And through the generations, this exchange of non-existent theoretical money called credit for real wealth and resources has sucked the wealth of the world into the hands of the few.
And
through that dominance of financial control, they dictate the choices or lack of them of the population. And they dictate the choices of black people, white people, Asian people, all different kinds of people and sexual.
Are you aged 35 to 55?
Shut
little
up,
or no life insurance? If
adverts!
so,
You can't do nothing, can you, without an ad? Got to sell you something.
Realities. Why are governments borrowing money from private banking systems and the population paying interest upon that borrowing? Why aren't the governments issuing their own currency interest-free and lending it to the population interest-free to go about their commerce and go about their lives, creating opportunities and choices that they wouldn't otherwise have? Why are we allowing a privately owned, in the end, by a tiny few people, banking system to issue non-existent credit money and then be able to take the wealth of the people if they don't pay it back? And there's another thing on this. The same people that lend the money, the credit, dictate if the economy goes up or the economy goes down. Thus, they can lend lots of money
I ain't got
and
no
there's
credit.
room. And then they can crash the economy.
That's all right,
and
Karen.
people can't pay back the loans that they took out. So what happens then? Those that have lent the non-existent credit and crash the economy can then suck up all the wealth that was put as collateral for the non-existent money.
There you
Now,
go.
what we're going to see in relation to what I've just said is a frenzy of repossession of properties. A frenzy as the cult, which owns the banking system, sucks up more of the wealth and resources of the world because of a pandemic hoax.
Hello, Auntie Mandy. Lovely to see you.
Which the ones that control the banking
Susie
system
Thomas. She's
were
in the
behind.
house.
Because the same people, the same cult is behind the
Oh,
banking
Danny
system.
Thomas. Sorry, darling. Hello,
If
Dan.
people want to focus on how we get our freedom back, then private banks lending money at interest, non-existent money called credit, has to end, or at least it has to be an add-on. We need a system, not a communistic system, but a system where governments are able to issue the currency interest-free. Because you say to people, how is money created? And they say, oh, the government does it. Well, almost entirely it doesn't. Money comes into circulation by private banks lending credit.
Yeah.
And when they lend lots of credit, then there's the opportunity for lots of economic activity. And when they squeeze the credit, what did they say in 2008? A credit crunch. When they squeeze the credit, they're taking out of circulation units of exchange, and economic activity cannot take place. And so
can you still hear all this, people?
Recession.
I know we
And
get
this
censored
cult,
sometimes.
Via the banking system, via this system, is constantly
Give me some
dictating
5 to
when it
5s.
goes up and when it goes down. Because what their masters are making it go up and down, so they know when it's going up and down. And that an idiot could make vast amounts of money if you know when the economy and the stock market's going up and when it's going down. And this is how it works. Changing the banking system, taking control of our economic lives, our livelihoods, our choice out of the hands of private banks. That will change everything on the level that we're talking about. But no one ever talks about it politically. Why? Because Britain is a one-party state. We have a one-party state Labour Party, a one-party state Conservative Party. In America, you have a one-party state Republican Party, a one-party state Democratic
Thanks, Davey Wilson.
And these one-party groupings, all these major political parties, are ultimately controlled by the same network that controls the banking system. And because of that, the politicians controlled by those people are not going to challenge the banking system controlled by those same people. What this whole Marxism tyranny wants to sell is that everyone should be equal. Well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Everyone should be equal. I would like to play in goal for Manchester United. I'm 68 and I have an arthritic hand. Ain't gonna happen. So what I'm gonna do is something that I can do. And I'm not going to complain that I'm limited, and I'm not going to say that I'm disabled and that it's the system that means I can't play for Manchester United.
And another ad.
When I was 12, my dad
Unbelievable.
was driving me to school when we got stopped by the police.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I look at the situation I'm in and I achieve or seek to achieve on the basis of who I am. I'm a unique individual, so I will achieve in a unique way. This idea that everyone must be the same, it's a race to the bottom. What we need is equality of opportunity so that someone's race or background is not a block on their ability to achieve what they want to achieve, as long as they have the ability to do it. We all have different abilities and different gifts. But what we don't want, surely, is equality of outcome, because that's a race to the bottom.
It is.
Give people opportunity, and then what they do with that opportunity is entirely up to them.
Amen.
They might say, no, I don't want to take that opportunity. I want to go walking in India. All right, fine. Well, enjoy.
Yeah.
But just because you go walking in India and this person achieves something with their opportunity doesn't mean that they're privileged. It means they just took the opportunity and direction of life that was different to yours. To create this equality of opportunity, it's to create a massively, fundamentally more fair economic system where wealth is shared out. It doesn't mean everyone gets the same, because, you take motivation and incentive out of life, it's a race to the bottom. Because, no matter what I do, it's still the same, So incentives are a very important thing. But what has happened in the system that we have is that it's been completely hijacked financially by a tiny few people. And I said earlier that freedom is actually choice.
It is.
The more choices you can make, the freer you are. The fewer choices, the less free you are. And what dictates the choices in the system and the world that we have today? It's money, overwhelmingly. Not always, far from always, but it is central, money.
There you go, Trev.
So if you're the cult and you want to take people's freedom away, then you take their access to money away, because you're taking their access to choice away. It's the private banking system issuing non-existent theoretical money called credit. That's the whole basis of it. And if I demanded that someone take from me money that doesn't exist, or I tried to give people money that didn't exist, telling them it was real, I'd get freaking arrested. But banks can make loans of credit, which has never, does not, and will never exist except in theory. And they don't get arrested. They become the 1%. And that's how they've done it. The number of people that are driving this is tiny. I mean, it's ridiculous. At its core, you get it in a room. People say, what are we going to do? Well, you can look for a solution. And, where do solutions usually lead? They lead to more problems that need more solutions. You see it all the time. What's the best way to remove a problem? To remove the freaking cause of it. You take away the cause of a problem. Don't find a solution to it. Take away the cause, and the problem must cease to exist because its cause has been deleted. And I've talked about the cause at length today. It's human acquiescence to authority. Authority that tells you what to believe and what to do, and wants to give you consequences for not believing it and doing it. You acquiesce to that, and you're giving your freedom away. Acquiesce to that collectively, humanity gives its freedom away to a tiny few people.
Amen, David Icke. That's great, wasn't it? He's a dude, I'd like to give Davey Icke a bit of a shout out for his contribution to humanity, mankind. Is just epic. The man fills stadiums now. He fills stadiums. When he first did his Icke interview years ago, and actually we'll have a little look at that if I can. We'll have a little look at the David Icke interview that he did back in the 80s. People say he's a player. People say he's part of the cabal. I don't think so. I don't know. Look, no one knows for sure. None of us know for sure who anyone is. We really don't. You know, only the individual that's speaking the narratives knows deep down their intentions, their goodness, etc., etc. I try and do good for the world. You know, I'm here to try and bring about a decent humanity and get rid of all this evil wickedness. And the Santanders and all that, the business people of the world, it's just unbelievable. They do just press print and their computer screen says, yeah, we're going to allocate credit to this particular individual. But they bring it from nowhere, you know. In actual fact, they get it from your birth certificate bond. And then you have to pay it back, but they've been paid already. The minute that you sign an application form, they raid your birth certificate account, all right? It's called the minor account. They're raiding your minor account, and then we continue to pay it back. Now, we have a way now of taking control of the minor accounts. We really do. That's through the ecclesiastical deed poll and the evidence of life served on your local courts. Then you become the manual. Deca Tomo, lovely to see you. Is this your first time, son? If it is, consider subscribing, liking, and hitting the bell button for future notifications. That'd be fantastic. So we're going to get in a little bit of Prince Andrew and this just whatever her name is, Maxwell. I can't even say her name. Does anyone know how to say her name? I don't want them knowing. What if you want to buy drugs? Not saying I do, but. Yeah, exactly. See, yeah, all your drug dealers are going to be up in arms right now. They'll be going, God, Jesus, no more cash. What's going on? I think if the banks actually pull a stunt of cashlessness, I think with the elderly, the ones that they've not already killed off through nursing homes, etc., and medication, I think they're going to create a war. But actually, I think they might want that war. I think they want a civil uprising. I really do. The lockdown of Leicester and all this other stuff, they're in the middle of a military operation, people, and I'm hoping that you can all see what bejesus is going on right now. I really do hope that you can see what is going on. I really do. So I need to come back and share the screen because we're going to have a little look at what one of these judges is talking about with regards to this Maxwell woman. Your daily news coming, and I want this guy as well, Vernon Coleman. His latest video he did a few days ago, bless him. He said he's an old man who sits in an armchair, and he is right articulate. He's an ex-GP. Dr. Vernon Coleman, MB, CHB, DSC, FRSA, whatever the fuck that means, I'm not too sure. But he's a hell of a dude. He's a real class man. He's had 35,000 views on that one, which is fantastic. Let me see if I can find this video I found yesterday. Just bear with me. They're going to starve us and freeze us to death. Yeah, I can't find it. Where have I put that one then? I found a video yesterday. Let's Gisela Maxwell. Let's have a look what we're saying about this. Hang on a sec. Let's see what it pops up about. Right, so Ghislaine Maxwell was apparently living at Shedwell Mansion in New York, East Beach. She's been arrested, for sure she has. Let's see what, let's have a look what we've got going on. Ghislaine Maxwell press conference announcing charges against Maxwell. So hang on, before I play that, I need to just pause that and come back into the StreamYard app and press this magic button. Let's give you, hang on a second. Is that an ad or is that?
Good morning. My name is Audrey Strauss. I'm the acting United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York. Today we announced charges against Ghislaine Maxwell for helping Jeffrey Epstein sexually exploit and abuse multiple minor girls from the period of 1994 through 1997.
Well, sorry about the audio.
Maxwell has been taken into custody early this morning in New Hampshire and will be presented this afternoon before a magistrate judge in the District of New Hampshire.
I can't play that. I can't put you through that. I just can't put you through that audio. Let's see if this one's any better.
Today we announced charges against Ghislaine Maxwell for helping Jeffrey Epstein sexually exploit and abuse multiple minor girls from the period of 1994 through 1997. Maxwell has been taken into custody early this morning in New Hampshire and will be presented this afternoon before a magistrate judge in the District of New Hampshire. You'll recall that the indictment against Jeffrey Epstein that we filed in July of 2019 charged Epstein with sexual abuse of young girls from 2002 through 2005. This case against Ghislaine Maxwell is the prequel to the earlier case that we brought against Jeffrey Epstein. As alleged, starting in 1994 until at least 1997, Maxwell.
Oh, where's she off to? She's going for lunch.
Had a personal
Oh, she's here now.
and professional relationship with Jeffrey Epstein.
Peeps, you got no idea how deep this goes, right? Because this is the Clintons. You trust me. If this woman starts spilling and doing a plea bargain, like it's reported that she is going to be taking a plea bargain, Ghislaine Maxwell, she is going to bring the house of cards down. Now, she will be, I promise you, I can feel it in my heart, she will be naming HRH Prince Andrew in all this. Now, maybe Harry had a little tip off. Now, it would appear that Harry himself and his missus are struggling a bit. Bless them. They're probably down to their last 30 or 40 million. But she was seen the other day wearing a beautiful red dress. Looked like she was out the Special K advert, looking quite swish. But down below, not was her bits hanging out, but there was a label hanging out from the factory outlet that she'd been to purchase said red dress. But luckily enough, she has got a beautiful figure and she could probably make a dustbin liner look fantastic. So you're seeing here, US versus Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay. Now the audio on this isn't particularly good. I'm not going to put you through any more of that, in fairness, but trust me when I say, if this woman is actually protected and manages to stay alive and doesn't suicide herself through COVID-19 84, we should see this house of cards start to fall. Now, maybe, just maybe, that could be the reason why Buckingham Palace is sealed up. Maybe that's why that no one really knows where the royal family is, because I tell you something, right? There's some stuff going on right now, and it's beautiful to see. Is this part of the Q program? I would suggest that Trump, like my friend Dell said last night on my Wake Up UK channel, Trump probably is a double agent, but he's a double agent in as much as he's not owned and controlled by these Kabbalists. He's his own man, you know. But double agent nonetheless. But is Trump secretly working in the back, pulling the strings and the levers so that he's in communication non gratis? Yeah, probably is. Good morning, Dave Utah. Hello, Timmy Bobbinson. Lovely to see you, darling. I'm just in here living the dream. Oh, they're coming up now, the guns, let me tell you. Yeah, you can call me Dave or Slave, I don't mind. And you wonder why Prince had that touch. Do you remember years ago, Prince went on Top of the Pops, didn't he? He was having a bit of a fallout with his music industry. And remember Michael Jackson called Tommy Mottola, the head of Sony, he called him a devil, didn't he? He said Tommy Mottola is a devil. And then next thing, Michael Jackson's dead. Whitney Houston, good close ally of Michael Jackson, she's dead. She couldn't get out of the bath. She was found in the hot tub. So yeah, it's all suspicious, isn't it? It's all what's going on. This cabal is just disgusting. Trump just emptying the swamp. Auntie Mandy, I'm loving that name, Auntie Mandy. It's like I want to come around and have a little school lesson with Auntie Mandy. Auntie Mandy, what part of the world you in, darling? Be nice to know. Truth, I can't quite read that because my old dustbins ain't that clever anymore. Still the truth, even if no one believes it. A lie is a lie, even if everyone believes it. Look, most people can. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. That's the problem. Most people go, "Oh no, I'm too busy to look into that stuff." Well, the world's waking up. The world's got no choice but to be paying attention right now. We need to get rid of these cabalists, ladies. You like my fly this morning? It's pretty good, isn't it, man? I don't know what's quite going on there. I might have to go and weigh it down in a bit. It's looking a bit. It's not looking Tom Cruise. It's looking more like Danny LaRue. But anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. Trump is a man of the people. That's why they hate him. He just wants to give us a freedom from government. Don't want you to be free or have freedom. No, this government, she's in the West Midlands, darling. Oh, yeah, I've got family up there. Oh, yeah. I'm internationally known, you know. I'll get about. Newton Abbott, Scotland. I'll go all over the place. Not at the minute, though. You can't go through Leicester. I've stopped buying the cheese now as well. Fuck that, I ain't buying that Leicester cheese no more. I can't support this tyranny. So what Leicester's happening with Leicester, right? They're rolling 5G out in Leicester. Vodafone, Orange, EE, Free, they're all rolling out their 5G networks in Leicester. So that's why they're saying, we want to keep you all in Leicester because we want to see what the fuck this is going to have an effect on you. Like everyone in Leicester is going to be walking around with their eyeballs popping out their heads like that, with their brains exploding when this 5G network goes on. And of course, you're going to get a more influx into the hospitals. Why? Because 5G depletes the oxygen. Trust me. And I actually think and feel, right, that our oxygen levels of this world right now are probably quite depleted in any case. I don't think the ether and the oxygen was probably what it was 30, 40 years ago. What we saying? So she's in the West Midlands. Lovely to see you. All right. That's my. I've got family out there, man. Don't shoot me, man. Don't shoot me. I've just got family out there. Yeah, West Midlands, Dudley. I love it out there, mate. Beautiful part of the world. Done a lot of time up there. Done a bit of cycling around. Oh yeah, I'll tell you, I'll get everywhere. I do with me one arm. You know, look, you're not going to miss me, have you? I've got me one arm bandits on. It's turned on. Yeah, see what I'm saying? It's already turned on there, Dave, the network. So that's why they want everyone to stay in Leicester. They're doing an experiment, a social experiment, a bit like when Hitler went rampaging on the Jews and started putting body hairs on them and seeing how they're growing and cutting off limbs and putting them on someone else. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Sounds, Gestapo. Listen, we need to end government. We need to end this cult, ladies and gentlemen. How do we do that? We starve the beast. We realise who we are and we start challenging. Now, that video I shared of Ike earlier, of the banking system, if you write to your banks and whatever, or your credit companies, and say, "Listen, we borrowed this $5,000. Before we can continue, I just need to see your ledgers. I need to see the ledgers of where you took £5,000 or what the equivalent of your stock and lend it to me, so that you can legitimately charge me interest. So help me God." That screws them up because they can't give it no auditing, because they just go dun, 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 and they press go. The banking system is sick to fuck in this country, and it's not an English banking system. It's a foreign cartel, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to understand that the banks are the ones that you shouldn't be having a beef with your Black Lives Matters or everyone's lives matters or the Sikh lives matters. You should be having a beef not with Boris Johnson because he's just a puppet. You should be having a beef with your banks, all right? Your bankers are the ones that have fucked you all over. They're the ones that don't mind slipping it in without any form of lubrication. Yes, I said that out loud. Their actions offend me far worse than any of my words, let me tell you. So, Ghislaine Maxwell, we're seeing the cabal really come under it now. And I do believe that Trump has got a lot to do with this. His Twitter account's fantastic, by the way. The way he plays that Twitter is just, he plays it like a He's playing the violin. He's just enjoying what he's doing. That old Don. He must sit there. He must go. His missus looking sexy over there, and she's probably half naked, and he's just having a little look. And he's got his Twitter out, going, "Oh, babe, I'm just going to post this up, and the world's going to react, and fucking all the lefties are going to have an heart attack and a flip out." I see these do-gooders out, right? Yesterday, I went up to Sevenoaks. I've just been working up to Sevenoaks for the last few days, putting a boiler in and that. And they've got a couple of do-gooders there checking the speed limits. You know, you've seen all these do-gooders around this country, and they're the fucking problem. These ones that, oh, you've done 36 and a 30, we're doing a survey, and the parish won't be happy. These are the bastards that have caused all this trouble, right? Because kids... it wouldn't bother me if they was all sanctimonious and doing this because you've done 36 and a 30. If they was that interested in the kids getting abused, if they was that interested in the police abusing all of us and beating us up and dragging us out of cars, if they were measured through what offended them and made them, oh, so worthier than thou, I'm checking you today because you might be speeding. Fucking hell, these lefty retards, mate. I tell you, I am sick to the fucking back death of them. Excuse my French. All words are described in the English dictionary, by the way, before anyone starts off. I'm sick to the back death of these people. They've caused more harm to us and this country through suppression of our freedom of speech. But that's changing. That is changing because we're changing. We're evolving. People of this country, great country, England, we are waking up. You've got all these groups around the world, all these countries, Scottish, proud to be Scottish, proud to be Northern Irish, proud to be Irish, proud to be American. You can't say you're proud to be English. Well, I am. I am fucking proud to be English. I am proud of my country. I'm proud of my people, all right? Mainly snowflakes now, but nonetheless, they're getting there. They've got no choice now. They've got no choice to be waking up because, let me tell you, if you ain't waking it all up now and you ain't talking to your friends and family, you just wait for the next 2 years when it's cashless. You won't be able to go, look, can you know how dangerous this is, right? Because if the system then says, right, you've gone through 36 and a 30, you've gone through a red light, they just switch your bank card off. Do you understand how dangerous this is? So then you go shopping, and you've got all your stuff, you put on the thingy and they go through and they go, how are you paying? Oh, you can only pay card because you're a fucking idiot. And you put your card and they say, oh, no, card says no today. Excuse me? Yeah, no, card says no. We switched you off. Well, what about tomorrow? Well, I don't know. It depends whether the government's going to turn your card back on. We know that they're having a swindle. The banks are owned and controlled by the government and vice versa. We know. So these are the hazards that you've all got coming. That I don't care how beautiful you are, how worthier than thou you are, how perfect you all are. If you do something by accident and you say, for instance, let's say, for instance, you're down to the last 80 quid that you've got in the bank, right? And you do something one day and all of a sudden the government texts you or ring you up or send you an email, you've done 36 and a 30 today, we're fining you 150 quid. A computer has found you guilty. Fucking that mentality does my head in. And you go, oh, fuck it, I've only got 80 quid in the bank. Fuck you lot, I ain't paying it. You're just a tyranny. You wait till you go to the shops to buy your food. The computer will say no. The computer will say, no, you've been a bad boy. We're switching you off. Guess what? You're going hungry. Just saying. Just putting it out there. That's what's coming. Proud to be English, but by the grace of a God, a Cockney. Which in my son? Sound the bow bells? All right, diddly-I do. No, it's not looking good. Around £1,000 a month per adult, £500 per child. OAP's laughing. Look, we got a massive population out there, the elderly people. They're living longer. The wrinklies are getting older, right? I hope to become a fine old wrinkly at some point, flashing me willy at nurses when they walk past. I do. I hope these times are bestowed upon me. When I get to that point, I'll put it away, Dave. It's so tiny we can't see it. It's like a little chicken nugget. I don't care, man. I'm still going to be flashing it. Let me tell you, because the breeze feels good, right? Yeah? I might get to 90. I might not want to have a bank card. I might want to be able to say to my little granddaughter, here, sweetheart, go down the road, get us a bag of rhubarb and custards. Here, I'll keep the change. Go and buy yourself a nice fucking ice cream. Get a 99 on the top there. Yeah? I don't want to be able to give her a £10 note or a £5 note or a £20 note or a £1,000 note because the inflation's going up. And I might want her to go down and do that. But if I don't have a card, I'm not going to have that luxury. You honestly, Cash is king. You got no idea how much you are going to miss that until it's gone. And with the COVID 1984, the implementation of all the 5G in the schools, all the stuff they're doing in the schools, all the 5G masks going up everywhere, all the implementation of the train stations. You can't get the train unless you get a mask on. They're going cashless. Guys, you got no idea. This government is now going for full fucking glory. They're going for total control and domination. People, I'm not shitting and giggling around with you here. I'm telling you the God's honest truth. We have to be very, very careful. Okay, it's lovely. You have a very nice income. That's why you can now get a lifetime mortgage. The clues are there. I'm very fortunate, ladies and gentlemen, to have always been a tenacious brass monkey. I've always lived my life on the edge. My balls have always been firmly fixed on the dashboard. I'm someone that pays attention. Don't ask me why. I just do. It's the way God made me, right? But I'm very fortunate enough to have been working with my hands all these hard years that I've now found myself in a lovely property, all paid for. Everything in my life is paid for, and I've got plenty, all right? And I'm not boasting about that, but I'm doing all right. Life's treating me okay. God blessed me. But I know there's a lot of people out there that ain't, and I know there's a lot of people out there struggling that can't put food on the table even now. Can you imagine how bad this is going to be in a couple of years' time when cash goes? No, we're not taking cash. And the whole idea and the argument for a cashless thing right here, right now with the COVID 1984 juice is flawed on every front. Because everything you do each and every day, you have to touch something, whether it's your balls, whether it's your boobs, whether it's your food on your trolley, whether it's your car keys, whether it's your kids as you kiss them goodbye or kiss them because they're ugly, whatever, it don't matter, just to reassure them that they're not so ugly and that the life and the world's going to like them for themselves because beauty's on the inside. You're touching everything every day, ladies and gentlemen, right? And germs ain't that bad for you. We live in a germ atmosphere, everything, every single day. You go in and take your pants off and the sun's flying. You see the dust particles flying around the rooms and you think, fucking hell, they're going into my body. Every single day you're breathing in and out all sorts of beautiful bits and bobs, right? But hopefully your immune system is suppressing that. But we're getting to a point now where that's not the case. But the argument of cash, this COVID juice, only lives on these banknotes. It only lives on these. It don't live nowhere else. It don't live on footballers. It don't live on the police. The police are immune from COVID juice. And that by the actions of the police. Right, listen, someone said years ago that actions speak 1,000 words. Now that's really, really true. If this was such a deadly killer, whatever it is that's out there, and I'm not saying that people ain't suffering, but people suffer, people die of cancer every day, people die of all these other things, but no one really gives a rat's fart apart from COVID 1984. If this was truly a deadly killing thing, whatever it is, do you honestly believe that the police are that fucking stupid that they would not all sit in that SPG pig wagon together, smelling a bacon? Do you not honestly think they'd be looking at their mate going, oh, fucking, what am I doing sat next to you? You could have the fucking 1984 COVID. Oh, I'm not happy about this. They're so casually in there, cool as a cucumber, sat by side, all high-fiving with their piggy helmets. And they are pigs nowadays, excuse me. The police force is a pig organisation. It's certainly not what it was formed to do by Peel years ago. And we can get into the nuts and bolts of Peel if you want to. And the people at the time said, we got to be fucking careful of this Robert Peel geezer, because if we let him get his reforms through and let him bring in this police service, we've got to be careful that it don't turn into a totalitarian fucking dictatorship. Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. All these years after Sir Robert Peel. Let's have a look at Sir Robert Peel, right? Let's just dig into Sir Robert Peel. Let's have a look at Sir Robert Peel, right? So let me share my screen. Bear with me. Righto, so I've gone small again. I missed it like small things. So Sir Robert Peel, right? 2nd Baronet Darling, 15th of February, 5th of February, 1788 to 2nd of July, 1850, was a British Conservative statesman who served as twice as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Whatcha? That double-crossing Union Jack there. And twice Home Secretary. is retarded as a father of regarded, as the father of modern British policing. Fucking hell, this man's got he's got fucking blood on his hands, people. Let me tell you. Owing to the foundations of Metropolitan Police farce, as you can see up there, Peel was one of the founders of the modern Conservative Party. He is Peely over here. Look, you can see him there all in his fight. Hopefully, he can chase my mouse around the old. If you've got a cat at home, put your cat up near the screen next. I'm going to chase the mouse around here, see, ladies and gentlemen, see whether your cat can probably start swiping at your screen, trying to catch this little mouse thing that I'm flying around. So, look, this geezer, right? He was quite a well-to-do dude. His portrait is done here by Emery William Pickersgill. He looks like a proper dude, doesn't he? Royal Academia, darling. Yes. So Christchurch, Oxford is where he got mathematics down. He earned a double first in mathematics, and he entered the House of Commons in 1809. Rising star of the Tory party. Peel entered the cabinet as Home Secretary. Blah blah blah. So he formed the police metropolitan. See, it says here the Metropolitan Police Service. All right, it doesn't say force. You've got to be paying attention to these words, people. Oh, he used false on him. He forced himself on me. He did. He forced himself on me. Oh, I was so disgusted. So, as you can see, formed as the service, not a force. And the reason why we have a force now is because they're totalitarian fucktards. But he was at the time, they really, really, really went to town on him. And they were so, the Commons and the Lords was all like, we got to be really careful about what we let Robert Peel do, right? And I'm sure he was a massive influencer at the time and very panache and very suave. He looks very dashing. He looks like he could do with a nice cod cashmere cod piece down here to make himself look even more powerful and have a little bit more prowess. So he reformed and liberalised the criminal law and created a modern police force. He didn't. He created the police service. A new type of officer known as the Bobbies and Peelers. Before that, we had people of the watch. And we need to really kind of get back to that kind of thing. So, but trust me, it was dangerous. And they all said back then, we got to be really careful about where this police thing goes. And maybe, just maybe, I'd like to say we see the death of the police force. My personal opinion is we need to see the death of the police force, and we need to return to the rule of law. And that's really and truthfully where we need to be. That's where we need to go. That's where our target should be, is back to the rule of law and get rid of the police force. And maybe I suggest a police service, or disbandment of the police, because they are so corrupt that they don't know that they're corrupt. That's how corrupt they are. All right, they're a joke. People are surviving, mate, but there's a lot of hard times. So look, I said quite a few years ago, it's a bit of a caveat. I said the more that you push on people as a collective, as a country, as a nation, the more that you push on people and take their liberties and freedoms away, they will have no choice but to start thinking, and they will have no choice but to start questioning what the hell's going on. And that's happening right now. We're going to do an hour this morning, so we've got about 6.5 minutes left, all right? And that's what's happening now. Everybody up and down the country, my friend who phoned me yesterday, he's a big Tommy fan. He gave me his book to read last year. He works in the food industry. They've just moved out to a beautiful pass down on the marshland in Kent. And he said to me yesterday, he said, there's a groundswell in this country. He said, and I actually think that there's a majority now that are ready to take this country and to topple the leftist bollocks and get rid of this cult government. And I'm like, wow, man, that's quite profound. Someone like him a few years ago really wouldn't have given someone like myself the time of day with the stuff that we were talking. But both him and his wife, him more so, are of a point now where we just can't continue down this road. Common law, yeah, the rule of law. You know, I'm an advocate for the rule of law, and that's what made this country great, was the rule of law. We were admired and revered the worldwide for how great we were. We had God on our side, apparently. I don't know what God we're serving nowadays with our police force. Maybe it's Lucifer. I do actually, after reading the Bible and retrospectively contemplating on the Bible, do think that we are living in a Luciferian agenda, because I do read the book and I see that evil men will stop at nothing to meek out their wickedness. So I don't want that. I want 1,000 years of peace. I want people living in hope, prosperity, charity, freedom, liberty, all these great things that were bestowed upon us by our Creator is what I want to see for every single nugget in this country, individual. I understand that we need to aspire to things. I'm someone that's always been good with my hands. You can ask any of the ladies. I'm only teasing. I love my missus dearly, and I do love her more than she knows. But I've always been someone that wants to see good in the world, that wanted to make a change in this world, that wanted to do nice things for nice people and improve their lives and do them nice work and nice jobs. That's what's gifted me and grafted me where I am today as a rounded individual. And I just hope and pray that the courts and the police now start questioning themselves, questioning their morality, questioning what they're doing to the people of this country. Because I tell you what, when it comes to a fact that we're all in the ashes, we will rise like phoenixes. We really, really will. People, I'm going to disappear. We're going to go a few minutes early. I do normally just do an hour slots on these. I want to thank you all for your time this morning. Keep your eye on Nasara Jasara. Keep your eye on Jacille Maxwell. She's going to sing like a bird. I'm like a bird, I only fly away. And she didn't die of suicide. She probably died of COVID-19. Suicide, tested positive for COVID-19. The COVID-19 84 tested positive for it. People, I'm a natural born piss taker. I'm sorry if I offend people, but that's just how it is. I can give it and I can also take it. I'm going to get myself a sailing boat in the next few weeks. I'm going to be free, go where I like. I don't blame you, love. I don't blame you. You just need to get yourself a little jerry can and a dinghy, and the Coast Guard will pick you up. Shame they don't make them more like you, Dave. Karen Campbell, you're looking and cruising for a cuddle, mate. Let me tell you. Guys, I love you all. I need a pee. That's why I've got to go. As you can see, I was drinking lots of juice earlier. I do like to keep myself nice and hydrated, like a little spritzer orange. Take care, guys. Love you as always. I'll be back to you over the weekend at some point. Stay funky, stay fresh. And listen, if this is your first time here, if you are a Witcher virgin, do yourself a favour. Consider subscribing, liking, and hit the share button and the bell button for future notifications. God, sometimes I can't get my words out. I'm so quick. Peterborough, I'm not allowing you to renew your passport. Well, there you go. That's Peterborough for you. I've got a mate in Peterborough. I might have to hook you up with him. Joni. Actually, I've got a good mate in Peterborough that I can hook you right up with. So if you want to private message me on Facebook, or send me a private message on YouTube, I'll send you my email or telephone number and we can hook up, sweetheart. Fantastic. Listen, Peterborough, I love Peterborough before anyone starts. I love it. I love everywhere in this country. But what I love more than the area of anywhere in this country is I love all you beautiful people. I love you all more than you'll ever know. And this is the reason why I come in here and do what we do. I love you all. Stay safe, stay blessed. Have beautiful, beautiful weekends and pray for sunshine. Please do.